okay? Can we give them a massive round of applause and a really, really big cheer? Let's have a practice. We've got a couple of minutes. So I'll just say anybody's name, right, okay? And then a real big, massive cheer, okay? I'll say my name, you've got to clap and cheer when the players come down. Ladies and gentlemen, world champion, Johnny Lamb! Can you record that? I'll never believe it. What, I've got to go and see... Look out, is that your name? Oh, just to let you know then, Jen, we've got BBC here today. Oh, that was rubbish. BBC are here today. BBC Radio Norfolk, ladies and gentlemen. What are you laughing? That's a big station here. 27 listeners yesterday. No, it's a massive station all over Norfolk. So what I'm going to do, that one was okay, but we're going live on air at about 1:10. So we've got about 30 seconds, okay? So can everybody, when I say that again, I'll just say 1, 2, 3. Can we clap and cheer? Because we need to pick it up in the box up there, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. There he has that, see? God, what a job I've got. Nearly there? We okay? Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our first match of the morning. Would you please welcome onto the ring winner of 5 national indoor titles, Welsh qualifier, it is Stephen Harris. And Stephen's opponent, ladies and gentlemen, former indoor world champion, ranked number 8 in the world, is Norfolk's very own Mervyn King. And you have to commentary Janice Gower, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Johnny Laff. And yes, here we are, first game out on the portable rink in the main draw of the World Indoor Bowls Championship singles here, hosted by Potters Resort and sponsored by Just Retirement. And we have the 2006 world champion Mervyn King facing Welsh qualifier Stephen Harris.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
Interesting game this morning. Both players have had a bit of practice out on the rink. Mervyn had a game in the world pairs. Just struggled a little bit in that. He'll be looking to make amends. And a good start there from Mervyn King. We're live with full commentary and in full HD with you here on the World Bowls Tour YouTube streaming for the entirety of this tournament. For every game that's played on the portable rink, you don't have to miss a bowl. We're also available on hashtag World Bowls Tour 1 on Twitter. We've got a Facebook page. And don't forget, if you can't keep up to date with the scores, you can always find those on our World Bowls Tour website at worldbowlstour.com.
No, it's 8 inches short.
Well, Stephen looks down a very good track here, if he's adjusted his pace.
One right. Last bow is about 10 inches short of jack high.
Mervyn just pulling up short there. The rink isn't quite as quick as some of these players are used to, but it certainly does seem to be drawing well on all four hands at this stage of the tournament. Well, Stephen. For those of you that like to know the balls the players are playing with, Mervyn Kings playing with arrows.
One red.
And I believe Stephen Harris is playing with Tiger Pros. He lists on his player profile he plays with Tiger 2s, but I think the balls out there are Tiger Pros.
One shot, Mervyn King.
So the first blood at this first end goes to Mervyn King. He takes one shot. Match officials for today, we've got Mike Davis out on the rink there as the marker. The umpire is Francis Fletcher.
7.5 metres.
And of course we operate under the shot clock once we get to these main singles out on the portable rink, and it's Tom Weir out on the shot clock. The World Bowls Tour have a very strong team of umpires here. So is 4 available at every point. 3 are operating on the rink, and there is also Dan Blewett here with us. He's here for the duration of the event, and he's just getting his hair and makeup ready as he's going on Radio Norfolk shortly, and then I believe he's hot-footing it from that interview to join us in the commentary box here. So if you have any technical questions you've got for the umpires, we will have Dan Blewett with us shortly.
The gap is about 16 inches.
Mervyn just overreached with that. The tendency on the rink there at the moment is you just stop that touch short, a couple of deliveries. You want to make sure you reach with your third. Just overreach there. Good crowd in here this morning.
Just in 1 second, yes.
Again, just struggling a bit with the pace out there. Stephen looks down a good track again. Should be in for a 2. Into 2 ends of this
Shot, Stephen Harris.
opening set. Stephen Harris leads 2-1. You can see a nice view of the crowd there. This is the lovely stadium here at Potters Resort. Certainly, in most people's opinions, the place to play bowls if you enjoy playing with the crowd. Mervyn King, of course, very used to this stadium. The top 16.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Bit of a smile there from both players. We've seen several jacks cast and thrown off the back of the rink. The jack here seems to skim across the surface. Of course, we're playing on a portable rink here. It's not a bona fide rink as you would have in your clubs. Actually, under the surface you see there is obviously the carpet, the underlay, there's boards, and then there's a staging, and that's all placed on top of the actual rinks here at the International Arena at Potters Resort. Stephen Harris has won 5 indoor national Welsh titles. He's the current national indoor triples champion in Wales, but it's his first experience out here at Potters on the portable rink, and as I was mentioning before, often your first experience with the crowds here and the stadium as it is can take a little bit of settling into. Stephen down a tighter line here.
Yes, still with me.
Like I say, any questions you've got, bob them to us. If it's a question for a player, we'll try and grab one of the players to answer your question. Question for the umpire. As you already probably are aware, we've had Francis Fletcher in the comm box. Dan Blewett's joining us this morning, but we can get your questions answered for you. The other 2 officials that are arriving at Potters on the middle weekend, Alan Thornell and Sandra McLeish. We'll get your questions answered for you by one of the top umpires here at the World Bowls Tour. And if there's any World Bowls Tour questions, we will put those to the World Bowls Tour CEO, Richard Maddison, and get back to you.
One green and red.
Francis just being called on to let us know which bowl's shot here.
One shot, Stephen Harris.
Yep, Stephen gets the shot there. So after 3 ends in the first set, we are 3-1 to the Welsh qualifier, qualified down at Kinnan Valley. I do hope for the Welsh viewers out there I pronounced that correctly.
Jack length 29 metres.
If not, my good friend and Welsh lady player Marion Purcell, who will be joining us this weekend to defend her World Mixed Pairs Match Play title. I'm sure she'll put me right. Mervyn looks on a good track again. Just has struggled a little bit for pace so far this morning. And of course, in these World Bowls Tour events, we play 2 sets of 9 ends, and if necessary, a 3-end tie break. We've had a couple of tie breaks in the pairs. We've got a great lineup for you this afternoon from 2 o'clock. So stick around. 2 semi-finals of the World Indoor Bowls Pairs Championship here. First semi-final is Colin Walker and Ronnie Duncan. They face Paul Foster MBE and Alex Marshall MBE. And then straight after that we have the English pairing of Andy Thompson MBE and Mark Royal. And they're facing the Scottish duo of Darren Burnett and Stuart Anderson. So we're in for some good bowls here today. Stick with us if you can.
One green.
Oh, looks better here, Mervyn. Any touch on that, Jack? Yeah, great bowl.
Three red. It's about 2.5 inches short.
Oh, great bowl rather, Mervyn. 1, 2, 3, looking at the fourth. Looks like it's going to be another measure. Mike Davis just chocking the bowl there.
Three.
3 declared, I think.
3 shots, Mervyn King.
Yep, confirmed there for you. Mervyn King then takes the lead after 4 ends in this first set, 4-3. Great end there by Mervyn King. Just the first 3 ends, just been struggling for his pace. Nailed it there. Mervyn, of course, is a Norfolk man. He's an estate manager
28 metres.
here. Wife Suzanne's in the players' box, encouraging on. Stephen Harris is a production operator from Blarnout. He's been supported by some of his friends have come down with him. Mervyn urging this on. Just dropped short again. Often seems to be the direction away from our commentary box, the direction the players are currently playing in, that seems to have that weight difference for some of the players. They're playing towards the outside wall, whether that has a slight effect. Great ball there from Mervyn, good adjustment. Had the green ball to rest on. Opted for the runner there, Stephen. It looks quite a wide target.
Yes, it's 9 inches short of jack high. Yes, it's inch and a half past. One shot, Mervyn King.
There's one shot to Mervyn. That means Mervyn extends his lead after 5 ends. He's 5-3 up. Just had confirmation for your questions. For a player, we do have one of the young rising stars of the game joining us for the second semi-final of the pairs this afternoon. Young Connor Sanato, he's playing against Andy Thompson here this time tomorrow morning. He's joining us in commentary this afternoon. So any players' questions, I'm sure Connor will gladly try and answer them for you. Good to see these youngsters, 19 Connor is, making the mark on the World Bowls Tour stage. He won the Young Player of the Year the other evening at the awards ceremony, and he joined us in commentary yesterday and thoroughly enjoyed his company, as I'm sure you did. And Mervyn, who's just obviously a couple of years older than Connor, has just started this end exceptionally well. If he can tie this end together, it puts the qualifier Stephen Harris under all sorts of pressure in this first set. Another good ball from Mervyn there. Stephen just looks to be under the weight and under the line.
But the gap is 7 inches. Steve's first. 10 inches past Jack High.
Yep, there's no need to change your hand, Mervyn. Some great information there from the marker, Mike Davis. You don't want to be using your timeouts when you're under the shot clock. You can see it counting down in the background there. Steve Harris now has 30 seconds to deliver that bowl before we hear a very loud buzzer and he would have lost his bowl. The umpire would have removed it from the rink. Just short again, Stephen.
Three red.
Mervyn looks close again, drifts past his own. You know, just unfortunately got wrecked there, but another good bowl from Mervyn. Playing very well in this direction. Picked up a 3 here at the last end in this direction. Currently holding 4. In the area, Stephen.
One shot, Mervyn King.
Yeah, great result there. But Mervyn still takes the 1 shot and after 6 ends leads 6-3.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
On green. One red.
Well, Mervyn's set off again well at this end. Delighted to be joined in the commentary box now by one of our match officials, Dan Blewett. Welcome to the com box.
Thank you, Janice. Morning.
I did mention to the viewers that you were doing your hair and makeup before a BBC Norfolk interview?
I have a radio face.
Well, do you know, he could have got a result out of that. He's been unlucky with a few. He apologised to Mervyn there. It was a bit of a hit and hope shot, and
It's just about a quarter of an inch.
Mervyn happy with a 1/4 inch gap to draw into.
well, he's certainly come on to a good game down in the last 3 ends. He struggled a little bit for pace opening ends, but Mervyn's certainly come on to a good game now. Just underplayed that. This keeps Stephen in the game. Well, just short with this, I feel.
One shot, Stephen Harris.
One shot to Stephen Harris, brings him back into the game, 2 behind with 2 ends to play. One of the questions we have had from the viewers, we've put it out again to our viewers if they've got any questions, Dan, so I think this is a alright one for you actually. It puts you on the spot, I know, you guys, but thank you very much for answering the viewers' questions. The shot clock, they've got 30 seconds to play their bowl when the previous bowls come to rest, but they also have timeouts, don't they? How many timeouts do they have?
Yes, during the course of the first 2 sets, they have 5 timeouts they can use, which gives them an additional minute each time. And if they go to the tie break, they get an additional 1 timeout to anything that they've got left.
So that in theory means if they're having the 30 seconds count, you'll see it start to count now behind Mervyn's head. There you go, 29, it's counting down. If Mervyn left that till sort of 5 seconds and then called a timeout, he'd get an extra 60 seconds onto that.
That's correct, yes. And a lot of the bowlers will run down the clock to the last moment before they call it.
It's brought that different element to the singles game. Not many of the players are over affected by it. It does affect you if you're under a bit of pressure and not sure what shot to play. You're conscious that the time for your bowl's ticking down.
Shot, the gap is about 22 inches.
Good crowd in here this morning, Dan.
Yeah, it's filling up nicely today. It's been a bit chilly out on the rink the last few days, with not so many people out there, but today should be quite warm, I think.
Well, Mervyn struggled the first couple of ends for his pace, but he's picked up a count or so playing in this direction. This is playing towards our commentary box.
I think Mervyn's brought a busload of fans today. That's bolstered the crowd.
Well, Steve's just pulled up short again. Oh, Mervyn, pick your hand.
Last bowl. The shot bowl, the gap is about 18.
Yeah, there's still 2 feet to draw there. I think he's short again, Dan.
He's struggling a little bit there.
Well, Stephen's got a huge opportunity here. He holds 1 shot. If he can draw in for another shot, leaves Mervyn king. World number 8, 1 bowl. Otherwise he goes into the last end all square.
Enough for 2. Mike's looking to see if it's Smith 3.
2 green.
It's just
That's
a 2.
2.
There you go, the shot clock in the background, 15, 14, 13, it's counting down.
There's plenty of time for Mervyn even.
5 seconds. We have seen players get as far as the buzzer and have bowls removed. Moving short again. Well, he'll be very
2
disappointed with
shots,
that.
Stephen Harris.
There's 2 shots to Stephen there. Really keeps him in this first set, all square, 1 end to play. I was saying to the viewers before you joined us, Dan, if the shot clock counts down, the buzzer goes off and the bowl, if it's not being delivered, is then a dead bowl.
That's correct, yes. Hopefully the buzzer will go off before it's been released, in which case the bowler would generally stand up and not bowl it. But if it has been released, but after the buzzer, then the marker will quickly run along and stop the bowl, if he can. If he can't, then we've got to put the head back to what it was before any disruption.
Yeah, with some of the big drivers we've got in this game, it could be interesting if it happened on a drive bowl.
Yes, because the thing we don't want to do is get in the way and break a foot or something.
No, we certainly need you all here for the fortnight. I can't have any damages. Mervyn's got a bit of room to draw here. Might have just overplayed this. I think it might be a question of first one to the jack here. Certainly not hanging about either player. The shot clock hasn't concerned them.
Slightly favour last ball.
Is that Mike slightly favouring Mervyn's last bowls?
Yeah, you can't, from the angle we've got on the screen here, it sort of looks like green, but I think it is green after this one. That's where us players rely on new markers out there to keep us informed.
Yeah, we've only got the time that the bowlers have to make a decision for them, or give them any information they ask.
Close
This one
here,
looks close.
Mervyn.
Oof.
Yes, we don't want to take the players' time up. It must be quick on the draw to have a look, Dan.
Yes, as the head builds up, you're taking a mental note of first, second, third bowls, distances, jack high, how many shots are being held, who's got third, fourth, all that sort of stuff.
He's drawn in for 2 there.
2 green for measure.
I mean, there is still a draw there for Mervyn.
He holds the best pack position.
Well, we might see a timeout here. It's counting down.
Time out.
Yep, there you go, folks. That shows that Mervyn's called a timeout. Which now, if we see the clock at any point, you'll see it's gone back up to, there you go, 60 seconds. So it's counting down to 49 here. Plenty of time for Mervyn King to deliver this very, very important bowl. Lying set against. Looks down a good track. all on his pace.
Oh,
Well,
who
if it
knows
sits
if it
down.
falls in.
He's
Yes.
just got it.
Crowd like it.
One shot in the first set to Mervyn King.
Just confirm there, Mervyn drew shot with his last bowl. Excellent bowl under so much pressure. So the world number 8 takes the first set 7-6, tightest of margins.
It's always good to have a nice tight game. Keeps the crowd involved.
Yes, it's Stephen's first time out there down on the portable rink, and often that takes a bit of settling in, but he seems to have settled down okay.
Yeah, I remember my first time out there 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever it was. It's very, very different out there. 1,000 pair of eyes looking at you, plus cameras.
Well, again, a little bit of a loose start from both players. So we have had one question in from a viewer, which is an interesting one about outdoor bowls. Obviously, outdoors tends to be quite heavy, so some players perhaps can't get down to deliver the bowl so smoothly. I mean, look at this delivery of Mervyn King's very smooth delivery. And they throw the bowl out. And the viewer just asking there, Dan, if there's a rule on how far they can throw the bowl before it actually hits the ground.
There's nothing to stop them, but I think if anybody was throwing it 10-15 yards down the green, I think people would start to think about the state of the green after that. And I think the greenkeeper would be having words with the bowler, but nothing to stop them
doing it. We'll just throw into the equation there that Crown Green, and we play through all weathers, however flooded a green is, and sometimes you've got to release the bowl to sort of skim it across. They call it cobbing. And so sometimes some of the top players manage to get it off to a fine art where they keep the bowl about 2 feet above the ground and make it skim across the water. I don't think there's any actual rule against it.
So it's just an etiquette thing, I think.
And the other one we've had on is one of our regular questions, which is about the bowls the players are playing with. If you are the top player in the draw, as Mervyn is here, he's got to play with red bowls. And the player on the bottom half of the draw, Stephen's got to play with green bowls. And that might mean that the next game, the winner of this has to swap colours. Most of the top players, in answer to your question, do have their own bowls. But if they don't have their own red and green bowls, the World Bowls Tour do carry a pool of red and green bowls. And you've got opportunities when you get to the venues to practice, decide which
27 metres.
set of bowls you want to play with. Some of us are very fortunate to be sponsored by a bowls manufacturing company. So we play with whichever model of their bowls we think suits the surface. I do hope that's answered the question on red and green bowls. There's a great opening bowl there from Mervyn King. He's 1-0 up after one end in the second set. Narrowly took the first set. All of the players that have been practicing have said early doors in this World Championships the carpet seems to be racked in fairly well on all four hands. So it's just personal preference which hand they choose. Oh, great bowls there by Mervyn.
Yeah, he's not made the head any wider. And locked the front bowl in.
Stephen
Stephen
Harris going
choosing.
early.
Makes Mervyn think a bit. Does he put another one in or put one behind? Cover the spot. Or one of the spots at least. So it's gone out to cover the spot. On the left as we look, just in front of Mike Davis's foot.
He's still choosing to go heavy. Has he made that adjustment?
Just over adjusted that time.
Mervyn just coming to have a look at the angles here. I would think he'll be wanting to slot another shot in the head. Counter 3. He does cover the back and the spot.
Time out. Mervyn has 3 time outs remaining.
Mervyn using another timeout there. Doesn't want to rush back. Early doors in the second set, but no point in hurrying things. Still got three more timeouts, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. 3 timeouts remaining. It's quite useful that the marker is informed by the umpire how many timeouts a player has, so he can inform the large crowd here at Potter's Resort.
3 yes.
Yep, he holds the 3 shots he wants. He holds the back position. I think Stephen, Stephen's still going again. He looks closer with this one.
It's got a result of some kind. Toucher and the Jack's following it through. Will it stop in time? Looks like it has. Good result.
One shot, Stephen Harris.
Yep, ultimate result there. Stuck with his running bowl. So 1-1 after 2 ends here. Going into end 3.
Jack length 29 metres.
And the end go.
Yeah. Mervyn got the chance here to draw in. I think the pace must have changed again out there, Dan. They're just dropping short. Well, good ball from Stephen there. Mervyn just needs to make the adjustment.
One green. Yeah, last ball, 7 inches past.
Stephen just looking to draw to that last bowl of Mervyn's. Mervyn looks close again. Just wrecked on his own short bowl.
Yeah, it was good pace.
I think Stephen's just lacking pace here.
I think he liked it halfway up.
Well, Mervyn's got a chance now of trying to remove the shot bowl of Stephen Harris's. The danger, I think, Dan, is the fact that Stephen also has the back bowl.
Yeah, it's not a lot of room to get round that front green bowl. I've been using another timeout.
Nice to see Mrs. Potter has joined us, sat in her usual familiar seat. She loves her bowls here, as do all the Potters family.
What colour is she wearing today? Is that blue?
It looks like a blue or a lilac from here. No doubt at some point our cameraman will tune in and we'll find out exactly. They run a quiz here, or a draw for guess which colour jacket Mrs. Potter will wear on finals day.
This looks good. Oh. Again, just catching the edge of his own bowl on the way in.
One shot, Stephen Harris.
Yep, Stephen Harris takes N3. He leads 2-1 after 3 ends in the second set. Mervyn King won the first set. Yes, Potters is a great venue for bowls here. Whether you come along to the World Championships or you come to one of the bowls breaks during the summer.
Jack length 28 metres.
The offices are often tuned in to our YouTube, so we'll give a shout out to John Potter and everybody in the Potters offices here at Potters Resort.
Yes, they do look after us wonderfully here.
Looks blue to me, Dan, that jacket.
I only work in 8 colours anyway, so it's blue to me. All these lilacs and God knows what else.
Sea blue, royal blue.
Yeah, pea green. It's green, isn't it?
Great ball from Mervyn there.
The gap is just over half an inch.
A good home for the World Championships here. Been hosting it for 18 years. Bearing in mind the World Championships has run for 36 years. That's half of its life it's spent at the wonderful home here. Its current sponsor is Just Retirement. We're very grateful to their support as well. It's a good covering bowl this time.
Yep, any touch on that front bowl, pushing the jack back to both of those. Don't think it will change Stephen's shot. Looks like he's just put a little bit on this time.
Yes. It's about 13 inches short of Jack Parry. Gap is about...
What Mervyn doesn't want to do here is do the job for Stephen. If he plays down his forehand and just taps his own bowl, he could open the jack up. So sticking to his backhand, just trying to drop another one past Stephen's short green bowl. All on his pace here.
Yes, looks good.
Yeah, perfect ball there.
Hidden behind Stephen's bowl.
Well, Stephen has got best back. We've seen that he likes to play a runner. If he gets his own short green bowl, it does remove one of Mervyn's out the equation at least. We might see a reaching bowl here from Stephen Harris.
Stephen has 4 timeouts remaining.
Mervyn's bowl isn't a toucher, is it, Janice? So if it does go through with it into the ditch, it won't be live. It's not attacking it, but arriving towards the
This is
the
a
target.
tricky bowl to play on the portable rink, just over.
What result will he get?
He's managed to get one away.
One right.
Mervyn just needs to repeat his last delivery, slot another one in. Yeah, those sort of 2 yard on shots, very unforgiving out there. Just tend to dip under. Looks good again. What's his pace like?
That's good.
Mervyn King after 4 ends. Second set takes a 3-2 lead. Of course, don't forget this afternoon we have the 2 semi-finals of the World Pairs. Start at 2 o'clock, Dan, I think.
They do. Should be 2 cracking games.
First up we've got Colin Walker and Ronnie Duncan playing against Paul Foster MBE and Alex Marshall MBE. And following that, the second semi-final, Andy Thompson MBE and Mark
Jack
Royal
23 metres.
face Darren Burnett and Stuart Anderson.
Lots of MBEs out there this afternoon. That's good.
Yeah, lots of Scottish-born players as well. I worked
Yes.
that out earlier. There's only one player this afternoon that wasn't born in Scotland.
Our lovely Mark Royal.
Of course, Andy Thompson and Mark Royal, both England now, represent England. But Andy Thompson was born in Scotland. I practiced this morning with Ronnie Duncan, Colin Walker and David Gawley. All I got off them was, what do you expect? Of course, Scotland will be strong. They did that with a smile on their faces.
On green.
Mervin's turned his back on that one. Playing a lot shorter length here, different lines in. I think he's gone short to just try and throw Stephen.
If anything, it's working against him at the moment.
Still quite a bit of room there. Well, he's got to be perfect weight with this or he's under again. As you said, Dan, perhaps not the good move for world number 8 to go shorter. Know the theory in it, but he's just having a little smile to himself there. Probably saying, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, having a quick chat to himself.
2 down.
2 down. Not much to play with.
Might be tempted down the backhand here. As long as he reaches, he could get one away or the split. Yep, that's what he's looking for.
It's in the parish. Depends what contact he gets now. Oh, what a
Absolute perfect result.
perfect result.
He's apologising for it, but it was in the area. Well, several chances down that backhand.
Happens to us all, doesn't it, Janice? You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, and certainly in sets play, you kind of need Lady Luck to be on your side. But as long as you're in the area, you give yourself a chance.
Steve has 3 timeouts remaining.
Another timeout taken there by Stephen Harris. You'd be disappointed to see Mervyn get that sort of a result when he was holding 2. That was a good track. Might
Is
just
he
be
running out of
lacking.
steam? Or has he got second? Don't know. Mike's having a good look. Close, I think. Yeah, calling for a measure. So Mike will make sure that bowl doesn't move. Francis will come out and tell us the result.
Yeah, just checking about which bowls are not in the measure, making sure they're removed.
1 red.
I think there was a question the other day about preference of which bowl to go to for measuring, and we all had a chat and we all have different preferences. Here there's one bowl on its belly, one bowl stood up. My preference is to go to the one that's safer, in my opinion, the one on its belly, the green one, but we all have our different preferences.
Jack length 28 metres.
Yeah, that end certainly was a turnaround. Stephen Harris was holding 2 shots and we've ended up with 2 shot count for Mervyn King. He now leads 5-2 after 5 ends, having won the first set. We've had a question in from a viewer, Dan. If the jack is in the ditch and a bowl is bowled that ledges on the jack but doesn't fall into the ditch and is in contact with the green, is the bowl still live and therefore a toucher? Of course, at some clubs they have different depths of ditches.
Yes, and I'm assuming we're talking about the outdoor code here. So Crystal Mark 3, the ditch should be between 50 and 200 millimeters deep. So if it conforms with that, obviously it's okay. But so long as the bowl is still in contact with the playing surface, then it is still live.
Thank you, Matt Hyde, for that that question.
One red.
Well, Mervyn in control at this end here. Stephen will not want to drop any more shots. He lost the first set, has got to win the second set to take us into the 3-end tie break. He's playing a runner. He doesn't like it, body language doesn't like it.
2 shots, Mervyn King.
Yeah, 2 shots to Mervyn King means after 6 ends he takes a 7-2 lead, 3 ends left to play. The world number 8, 2006 world champion. Looking in the comfort zone now. He scraped the first set. It was an interesting first set. But he's leading quite comfortably now in the second set. We're going to end 7.
Just add a bit of clarity onto that last question, Janice. The bowl that touches the jack in the ditch will not be a toucher, but so long as it's still in contact with the playing surface, it is still live.
Jack lane
But
28.
it cannot be classed as a toucher whilst the jack is in the ditch. Unless, of course, it touched the jack on the playing surface before it went into the ditch.
So a bowl's got to touch the jack on the playing surface
Correct.
to actually be a toucher. Well, we're certainly getting some interesting technical ones for you guys this week. It's great we've got so many people viewing and listening in. We've had quite a number of people watching us that are not bowlers, so some of the questions have been interesting about basics. And that's what we're here for. We're here to hope that people get involved, join in. If they see it on YouTube, might even try and find their local club. Stephen Harris, of course, came through the qualifying process. Member of the PBA, Professional Bowls Association. You pay your membership to your local area, and then you too have the chance of playing in the qualifiers and actually being out there on the world stage against the likes of Mervyn King.
Stephen has a good look at the scoreboard then, just to make sure what the position is. If Mervyn scores 3 on this end, that'll tie up the match.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's just played a loose ball himself there, having led a really good ball. Could have done with another one in the area. Really needs to count At least a 2, Stephen, at this end. Especially when Mervyn's just dropping short.
Yeah, he's giving him a chance.
This time I think he's overplayed it.
Just the one.
I think we'll have to put Mr. Thornwell on the spot with some of these tricky questions next week, Dan. He joined us on the chat side of YouTube the other day, so we had Francis answering questions in the com box and Alan answering them on YouTube, so we were covering all bases.
We're a good team, aren't we?
Yes, you'd think it was Alan's week off. He was still watching the bowls.
Oh, he's very keen, is Alan.
Time out. Stephen has 2 time out.
Yeah, I fear Stephen's really got to try and counter 2 at this end. Just called a timeout to settle him down a bit. Holds 1. He's gone for the big shot of trying to chip the jack out. Not the easy shot to play out there, Stephen, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it was fraught with danger. He could have lost his bowl and then lost the match, but obviously felt it was worth it.
Yeah, he's 4 behind now after 7 ends. Mervyn King leads 7-3, but that means that Stephen Harris has got to count 5 over 2 ends, as he's got to win this set to take us into the tie-break. Mervyn King won the first set.
Yes, he must score 2 this end. At least 2.
Jack length 29 metres.
The on-rink marker, Mike, and the umpire, Francis, will be in close contact now, just confirming that Stephen does indeed need 2. If he fails to score 2, then that wraps up the match. Sorry, correction there, he needs at least 1 this end.
Yeah, because he would then be able to score a 4 at the last end, which would take him to 8, but that's a tough ask. We have had a few 4s, a number of 3s here this week. I won't do the commentator's curse I did in Scotland, where I said you don't often get 4s at this level, and we proceeded to have about 6 4s in one day. Looks down a good track here. All on your pace, Mervyn. Still helps the cause, doesn't want Stephen to count a big count. That's good.
Applying a bit of pressure.
Last ball is just past Jack by about 3/4 of an inch.
Just means Mervyn needs to just adjust and reach. If he reaches the bowl or the jack. Looks short again. Well, Stephen, as they would say in the Crown Green game, fill your boots, try and get a 3rd in.
Should make it a very interesting last end. Second set.
Well, his track looks good. He's chasing it up.
Sensibly, Mervin's coming down, having a good look for himself.
Yeah, good ball there from Stephen. That puts the pressure back onto Mervyn.
Take his time. No point rushing it. Calls the timeout.
Oh, crucial ball here from Mervyn King. Just trying to adjust his weight. He's watching it intensely. This looks better.
Good line again.
This looks better. Well,
Has reduced it, I think. Has he got third? Looks as though Mike will add some wedges into the equation. Stephen's just asking for 2.
2 shots, Stephen Harris.
Or is it 3?
declared there at 2. So that's what Stephen needed really to go into this last end, because even with those 2 shots, Mervyn King has a 7-5 lead playing the last end. Stephen Harris has got to win this set, so therefore he needs to score 3 shots. It's been an intriguing game really. Mervyn's certainly not had it all his own way.
Jack lane 29 metres.
Don't forget we're back with you live at 2 o'clock. And then again this evening at 7:30 for the last of the group stages of the overseas playoffs.
Yeah, all to play for in that game as well.
Yes, I believe so. It's going to be a good game, that.
I think whoever wins should go through.
Yes.
Scott needing 1 set to guarantee, I think.
Well, from what I've gathered, I'll make sure before we come into comms, obviously, that Neil Furman is playing against Scott Baxter. Neil Furman from the USA tonight, and Scott from the Channel Islands. He's actually from Jersey. They both are the 2 players within the group stages that have a chance, which is quite good, because it's all down to themselves tonight. I think if Neil Furman wins both sets, he's guaranteed, and I believe Scott, with his shot count, has got to win at least 1 set, and then we could all be down to shots. It could be very interesting tonight.
Yes, and I should be out there marking it, so I shall be very close quarters to it.
Scott, of course, first time here at the World Championships, but Neil Furman, world ranked 18, one of the most successful overseas players ever in the WBT rankings. We've got some really good bowls for the rest of the day for you, ladies and gentlemen, so stick with us. Well, Stephen, you've got one of the 3 you need. Looks like a second coming in here. Yep, that's a good ball.
That's a 2.
He'll be disappointed he put his first one short. Shaking his head at the back there.
Why, oh, why did I put 1 short?
That's the polite version, I think, as well done. Well, Mervyn, if you reach this green ball and sit off it, it puts Stephen under all sorts of pressure. Well,
2 green.
I mean, it's still 2 green. I didn't know whether he'd actually got second there.
Right smile from Stephen there.
This
He
has
knows
got
what
to
he's got to
count.
do.
Got to count to stay in the Just Retirement World Indoor Bowls Championships here at Potter's Resort.
Oh, he's slapping his thigh. Not
It
too
looks
sure.
wide for me on these bowls.
Looks like it's high, wide and handsome.
2 shots to Stephen Harris, second set, and the match to Mervyn King.
There we go.
Tied set then on my working out.
Indeed, Mervyn doesn't need to bowl his last bowl. The tie is good enough for the game.
Thanks, company viewers. This morning, join us again at 2 o'clock, and thanks, Dan Blewett, for joining me in the com box.
You're welcome. See you later.
Congratulations, Mervyn. Thanks to all our officials. That is the end of your morning session, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back later on and 2 o'clock, so getting nice there. Please don't leave any of your coats, otherwise I'll be selling them on eBay. Okay? So we're well done again to Mervyn and commiserations to Steve there. And we shall see you later. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.